I'm Justin, and this is Molly Woodruff, and we've been married for 17 years. And as of right now, we have 9 children in the house under the age of 11. And we've been fostering and adopting, a combination thereof, for the last several years.
2019 was exciting because we adopted 2 children out of foster care and 2 children from Liberia. We have 4 biological kids, 3 girls and a boy. I also read the book Radical by David Platt, which just made me realize that the Bible is speaking to me, and I took verses, I don't want to say more seriously, but it just awakened my faith to be like, this is for you too. Like, these commands are not just for other people to do. So I thought we needed to sign up to foster just to do something. So in Arkansas, we went through foster training.
Yeah, and I was reluctant. I was the guy who thought we were overwhelmed with life. So I said no initially, and they offered a free dinner. So we went to the dinner, and the lady had a bunch of facts and information, and it was good, but I was really just focused on my chicken and my Diet Coke. And then this high school girl got up to the front of the room, and I forget her name, and she shared her story. And at a young age, she was abandoned and abused, and her mom went to prison, and she was put in the foster care system. And she's telling the story, she's crying. And so I stopped and listened. And then she started talking about how she bounced from home to home to home. But finally, a woman, an older lady, single woman, brought her in as a foster child. But she loved this girl. She didn't just foster her, she loved her like a daughter. And then she adopted her. And in the process, she taught her about Jesus Christ. And this beautiful little girl grew up into a high school young woman. And she's up there talking, weeping, and she says, and I gave my life to Christ, and I know that I'm beautiful and I'm loved and I have purpose in this life, and it's because of this woman right here. And the mom walks out, and I'm crying. I think everybody's crying. I turned to Molly, and she's filling out the papers. So we thought, well, guns up, let's do this. We're going to be a foster family. So that's how it started. And so it's not because we're a great family. We didn't have things squared away. In fact, we were overwhelmed with life, but that's how it started. And then shortly thereafter, we got our first placement, a 2-day-old baby girl who was positive for opioids, and that first couple weeks rocked our world.
Right. And we had a couple step out and just help us out for a night, so we were able to sleep, which was amazing. It's awesome to go into foster care with a community so you can help each other out. Another friend would watch the baby overnight. And she ended up adopting her, which was such a cool God story in itself too. And then moving to Stafford, we wanted to foster, and I think through God's sovereignty, the office said we don't need foster parents right now. So we said, okay, well, we're getting old. Let's start an international process. So 6 months into the international process, the county called and said, we have 2 little boys. Can you take them? Sure.
And so they said it would just be for a short period of time. And so we thought we got 1.5 years till till the adoption will be complete. So we brought them in, and then we had them for 6 months, and then a year, and then about 16-month point, we get a call from the adoption agency. Hey, your boys are ready in Liberia. It's time to go. Like, what? So we sold my truck and got a big van, a 15-passenger van, and we went to Liberia, and we picked up the boys and brought them home. And then 2 months later, we adopted Christopher and Jaden. And so we went from a family of 6 to a family of 8. And then we thought, man, now we are maxed out. And then about 4 months ago, we got a call. And through a series of circumstances, we've been placed with their Jaden and Christopher's half-sister, and we're in the process of fostering her now. We'll see what God does with that. So we didn't have this planned out. This was not part of my plan. But God has used this to just humble us completely. And we only do this by His grace, through His power. And we are so thankful for the community of Christians who've come alongside us in little and big ways, to watch the kids, to bring us food, to bring us the giant table in our kitchen or in our living room that we can fit around. It's incredible. So in this particular ministry, like, absolutely, we need foster families. We need families that are willing to adopt, but we need an entire church to step up and come alongside in big and little ways to speak to the world around us. Like, we care about orphans and widows in their distress. Like, we do more than just talk. And I want to be careful. This is not Molly and I do anything. Like, we're lousy people. We're saved by grace through faith. We need Jesus, right? But we've experienced through this ministry the blessing, the promise of Scripture in practical ways. It's super challenging, it's exhausting, but it is so worthwhile compared to all the other things we've chased after.